Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Matthew 11:28, NIV. Have you ever reached the end of the day feeling like you gave everything you had and still feel empty? Not dramatic exhaustion, not collapse on the floor tired, but the quiet kind, the kind where your body lies down, but your soul is still standing. Tonight is for that place. There is a specific weariness that comes from carrying too much for too long. You kept going, you showed up, you did what was needed, but somewhere along the way, strength started leaking out faster than it could be replaced. And now you're here, still faithful, still trying, still breathing, just tired. God sees that. Let me take you into a very small moment. The room is quiet. The lights are low. Your phone is finally still. Nothing is asking anything of you anymore. And yet your chest feels tight, not with fear, with weight. Responsibilities you couldn't set down today. Expectations you carried silently. Questions you didn't have energy to answer. This is not weakness. This is what happens when you've been strong for too long. Here's the truth many people miss. God never asked you to renew your own strength. He asked you to come to Him with what's left. The world teaches you to push through fatigue. God teaches you to bring it to Him. Because strength, in God's economy, is not manufactured. It is received. Waiting until you feel strong enough to rest is how exhaustion deepens. God does not require you to arrive energized. He invites you to arrive honest. Tired honesty is enough. There is a sacred misunderstanding about renewal. We imagine it as sudden motivation, a burst of energy, a clear mind. But biblical renewal often begins quietly, like a slow exhale, like shoulders dropping, like the moment you stop pretending you're okay. Renewal starts when striving ends. Here is clarity for your heart tonight. You are not failing because you are tired. You are human. And God never designed humans to run endlessly without rest. Even Jesus withdrew. Even He stepped away. Even He slept. Rest is not quitting. It is alignment. So tonight, your action is not to fix anything, not to plan tomorrow, not to rehearse what went wrong today. Your action is this. Come as you are. Bring the fatigue you couldn't explain. Bring the weakness you tried to hide. Bring the places where effort ran out. And let God meet you there, not with correction, with renewal. You do not need to feel better before you rest. You rest, so healing can begin. Let your breathing slow. Let your grip loosen. You are allowed to stop holding everything tonight. God has not asked you to carry it alone. There is something gentle God wants you to understand tonight. Strength does not return the way the world promises it will. The world says, sleep more, try harder, get organized. God says, be still. Stay close, let me carry you. That difference matters. Because some kinds of exhaustion are not fixed by rest alone. They are healed by surrender. You may have noticed this already. You can sleep 8 hours and still wake up heavy. Because the tiredness isn't only in your body. It's in the places where you've been holding responsibility that was never meant to live in your hands. Pressure, expectations, the need to be strong for everyone else. These drain the soul quietly. There is a verse many people quote, but few live slowly enough to feel. Those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. Isaiah 40:31. Waiting does not mean doing nothing. It means leaning instead of pushing. It means staying near instead of striving forward. It means trusting that God is working even when you are still. Renewal begins there. Here's the truth that releases the heart. You don't renew strength by demanding more from yourself. You renew strength by releasing what you were never designed to carry. God is not asking you to be resilient tonight. He is asking you to be receptive. Think about how strength returns in the body. Not all at once, not dramatically. It comes quietly, gradually, almost unnoticed. Spiritual strength returns the same way. It starts as peace before energy, stillness before motivation, rest before clarity, and that is enough. There is no shame in needing God to replenish you. Weakness is not failure. In God's kingdom, weakness is an open door, an invitation that says, "Let me do what you cannot." The world praises independence. God honors dependence. So tonight, stop measuring yourself by output. Stop replaying what you didn't finish. Stop rehearsing what you'll need to handle tomorrow. None of that is required right now. What is required is presence. Here is your action for this part of the night. Place the weight down, not symbolically, intentionally. You might whisper, "God, I'm tired of being strong." That sentence is not a complaint. It is a doorway. You do not need to understand how renewal will happen. You only need to remain close enough to receive it. Strength is not being rebuilt through effort right now. It is being restored through trust. Let that truth soften you. Let your breathing slow. You are not late. You are not weak. You are exactly where renewal begins. There is a quiet fear that often hides beneath exhaustion. It is not the fear of being tired. It is the fear that rest means falling behind. That if you stop, everything will collapse. That if you slow down, you will lose momentum. That if you rest, you might miss something important. God understands that fear. That is why He invites you to rest with Him, not away from responsibility. Here is a truth that brings relief. God does not advance His purposes through your burnout. He advances them through your trust. You are not holding everything together. You never were. And tonight, God is gently asking you to let that illusion go. Think about how Jesus speaks to the weary. He does not say, "Try again tomorrow." He says, "Come to me." Not after you fix yourself. Not after you feel better. Come tired. Come burdened. Come empty. That invitation still stands tonight. There is something sacred about admitting exhaustion. It dismantles pride. It loosens control. It opens the heart. When you say, "I can't do this on my own," you are not stepping back. You are stepping into grace. Many people confuse strength with tension. Clenched jaw, tight shoulders, relentless focus. But God's strength often feels like release, like unclenching, like exhaling, like finally sitting down. That is not weakness. That is wisdom. Here is clarity for this moment. Rest is not the opposite of faith. Rest is an expression of faith. It says, "God, I trust you enough to stop." That kind of trust pleases Him deeply. You may notice that when you finally slow down, emotions surface. Tears you didn't have time for. Sadness you postponed. Questions you avoided. Do not be afraid of this. God is not surprised by what comes up when you rest. He meets you there. Tonight is not about fixing your fatigue. It is about letting God touch the place where fatigue began. The place where you started carrying too much. The place where you stopped asking for help. The place where you believed strength meant silence. God gently restores those places. So here is your action for this part of the night. Stop bracing. Unclench your hands. Lower your shoulders. Let your body agree with your prayer. You might whisper, "God, I don't need to be strong right now." And that is enough. Strength is not returning because you are pushing harder. It is returning because you are finally allowing yourself to be held. Stay here. This is where renewal deepens. There is a moment, usually late at night, when you realize something quietly important. You've been asking God for more strength, when what you actually needed was permission to stop striving. not stop caring, not stop believing, just stop forcing. Many people think renewal means God giving you more energy, more motivation, more capacity. But often, renewal begins when God gently removes what is draining you. The pressure to be everything, the expectation to hold it all together, the belief that rest must be earned. These are heavy loads, and God never asked you to carry them. There is a small, overlooked phrase in Scripture. He makes me lie down, not suggests, not encourages, makes. Because sometimes the shepherd knows you will never choose rest on your own. You will keep going until something breaks. So God intervenes, not with force, but with invitation. Tonight may be one of those invitations. Here is a truth that brings clarity. If God needed your exhaustion to accomplish His will, He would not invite you to rest. If your constant effort were essential, He would never so be still. God's work does not depend on your depletion. This is where many faithful people get stuck. They believe resting means letting God down, but resting is often how you finally trust Him enough to lead. You are not being irresponsible tonight. You are being obedient. Let's talk honestly about something. You may not feel refreshed yet. That does not mean nothing is happening. Renewal does not rush. It begins quietly, like warmth returning to cold hands. Subtle, gentle, gradual. You do not need to feel strong to be restored. You only need to stop resisting rest. There is a peace that comes when you accept this. God can handle tomorrow without your help tonight. The problems will still be there in the morning, but you will meet them differently if you rest now. Rest reshapes perspective. Fatigue magnifies fear. Rest restores proportion. So tonight, let go of the mental rehearsal. You do not need to prepare speeches in your head. You do not need to solve scenarios before they happen. That is not wisdom. That is weariness pretending to be responsibility. Here is your action for this part of the night. Give God your unfinished business, not symbolically, consciously. You might say, God, I trust you with what I didn't complete. And then stop. Let your body rest before your circumstances do. Let your soul be quiet, even if answers haven't arrived. God is not measuring your faith by productivity tonight. He is restoring you through stillness. Stay here. This is how strength returns. Something else begins to happen once you stop striving. Your soul starts telling the truth, not loudly, not dramatically, but honestly. When you finally slow down, you may notice emotions you've been outrunning. Grief you postponed, disappointment you minimized, fear you labeled as just stress. This is not regression. This is healing beginning. God does not rush past these places. He sits with you in them. Here is a truth that brings compassion. Exhaustion is often the body's way of saying, you have been strong for too long without support. That is not a moral failure. That is a human signal. And God listens to it with tenderness. Many people try to pray their way around exhaustion. God invites you to pray through it. Not with long words, not with perfect faith, but with honesty that sounds like, God, I don't have much left. That prayer is never ignored. There is something deeply healing about being seen without performing. God already knows how tired you are. You do not need to convince Him. You do not need to explain yourself. You are not disappointing Him by being weary. You are meeting Him where He already is. Here is clarity for this season. Renewal is not God pushing you back into motion. It is God recalibrating your pace, teaching you how to move without burning out, how to serve without self-erasure, how to live without constant pressure. That kind of renewal lasts. You may notice now that your thoughts are slowing. The urgency is softening. The inner critic is quieter. This is not laziness. This is restoration taking root. God often renews strength by reminding you of something simple. You are loved before you are useful. You matter even when you are still. Your value does not rise and fall with your energy level. Let that truth settle deeper than motivation ever could. Here is your action for this part of the night. Let yourself be cared for, not by fixing, not by planning, by receiving. You might whisper, "God, I receive rest as a gift." Then let that be enough. You do not need to hurry this moment. Strength is not returning because you are doing something right. It is returning because you are finally allowing yourself to be held. And that is exactly how God designed it. As rest settles in, something subtle but important begins to shift. You stop asking, "How do I get my strength back?" And you begin to realize, strength is already returning, just not in the way you expected, not as adrenaline, not as urgency, but as steadiness. This is often how God renews strength, not by making you feel powerful, but by making you feel safe. Safe enough to stop proving, safe enough to stop rushing, safe enough to trust that you don't have to hold everything together anymore. That safety is strength. Many people chase energy. God cultivates endurance. Energy burns quickly. Endurance carries you through long seasons. And endurance is built in moments like this, when nothing is demanded of you, and you choose to remain with God anyway. Here is a quiet truth worth holding tonight. God is not restoring you to who you were before you got tired. He is restoring you into someone wiser, gentler, and more grounded. The goal is not to go back. The goal is to go forward differently, with better boundaries, with deeper trust, with a lighter grip on control. You may still feel tired. That's okay. Renewal does not erase fatigue instantly. It changes how you carry it. Instead of dragging it alone, you begin to share the weight, and shared weight feels lighter. This is why God does not shame you for needing rest. He designed rest as a doorway back into alignment, back into humility, back into dependence. Dependence is not immaturity, it is relationship. You may notice that as you rest, your prayers become simpler. Less asking, less explaining, more presence. That is not prayer fading. That is prayer deepening. Here is clarity for this moment. You are not behind because you rested. You are not weak because you paused. You are becoming sustainable, and sustainable faith lasts longer than frantic faith ever will. So here is your action for this part of the night. Accept the pace God is setting right now, not the pace you wish you had, not the pace others seem to run at. This pace. You might quietly say, "God, I will move at your speed." Then let your breathing match that prayer. Strength does not return all at once. It returns as permission, as peace, as the ability to say no, as the courage to slow down. And tonight, that work is already happening. Stay here. You are being renewed, even if it doesn't feel dramatic yet. As this night deepens, you may notice something quietly reassuring. You are no longer fighting rest. Earlier you resisted it. You negotiated with it. You told yourself just a little longer. But now something in you has softened. That softening is not giving up. It is wisdom taking root. There is a stage in renewal where God does not add anything new. He simply stabilizes what already exists. Your breathing evens out. Your thoughts slow. The urgency fades into the background. Nothing dramatic changes. And yet everything feels lighter. This is not coincidence. This is care. Here is a truth that settles the heart. God renews strength by teaching you how to live without constant pressure. Pressure drains you faster than effort ever will. And tonight, pressure is loosening its grip. You may still have unanswered questions, plans that are unclear, responsibilities waiting for tomorrow. But notice this, they no longer feel as heavy as they did earlier. That is because rest has shifted your center of gravity. You are no longer carrying life from anxiety. You are carrying it from trust. Many people assume renewal prepares you to do more. But often, renewal prepares you to do less, with more peace, less striving, less proving, less reacting, and more presence. God is not interested in returning you to endless productivity. He is shaping you into someone who can move forward without losing themselves, someone who knows when to pause, someone who listens to limits, someone who trusts God enough to rest when it's time. This is a deeper strength. There is a quiet confidence forming now, not confidence in outcomes, not confidence in plans, confidence in God's care. The kind that says, even if tomorrow is demanding, I will not face it alone. That confidence does not shout, it rests. You may not feel fully restored yet. That's okay. Restoration is not a moment, it is a process. And processes often complete themselves gently, not suddenly. God does not rush healing. He protects it. Here is your action for this part of the night. Acknowledge what has already shifted, not with analysis, with gratitude. You might whisper, God, thank you for the rest I can feel beginning. Then let the moment stay simple. You do not need to squeeze anything else out of this night. You have already done the most faithful thing possible. You stopped striving. You stayed present. You trusted God enough to rest. That is strength, and it is already being renewed. As this night reaches its quietest point, nothing more is required of you. No effort, no fixing, no preparing, only rest. You came into this night tired, not because you were careless, but because you cared deeply for a long time. And now you are here, not striving for strength, but receiving it. That is enough. Here is the truth that closes this night gently. God has been renewing you while you rested, not because you felt it, not because you earned it, but because renewal is who He is. You did not have to explain your exhaustion. You did not have to justify your limits. God already knew, and He stayed. Strength does not always arrive as energy. Sometimes it arrives as peace that lets you sleep. Sometimes it arrives as permission to stop. Sometimes it arrives as the quiet confidence that tomorrow is not yours to carry alone. That is the strength you received tonight. So let this be the final movement of your heart. Not a long prayer, not a request, just a whisper, slow and honest. God, I give you what's left of me. I release what I cannot hold. I trust you to renew what is weak. Amen. Now rest, not because everything is resolved, but because everything is held. Let your breathing slow. Let your body soften. Tomorrow does not need you yet. God is awake. God is near. God is enough.